So one of the most common things that we get asked is around branding and branding templates, and being able to distribute those to all of your employees, so that when they go and click the new button inside a Word, PowerPoint, or Excel, there's a list of company templates available for them. This makes it really easy to ensure, or at least help, your team be consistent in terms of what sort of fonts and color schemes and layouts and just general styling you want to use for any new documents that are created. Now, the challenge is that how do we do this when we've got a online SharePoint environment? We can't use the tricks we used to use of a shared folder somewhere and just redirect things to point to that. It doesn't work because we're not directly connected. It's kind of loosely connected, if you like, via the internet, right? So thankfully, there's three key ways we can solve this, but they all rely on one core ingredient, and that's to create a central assets library or assets hub where all your marketing and media assets get put. This is where everyone will have access to. A few people will be able to change, but everyone will have access to be able to make changes, right? To download, right? To make those available. So the first one does rely on having an enterprise license. It is the most effective, and you need a E3 or E5 license to make this happen, unfortunately. So unless you're a big corporate, it's probably not going to apply to you. But there's some little PowerShell scripts that you can run, that you get your IT team to run, and they'll actually treat this particular area or the document library in your assets library as a template source. That will instantly make it available to all connected Microsoft Office apps out there. So everyone who logs into your environment will immediately get access to any templates that's loaded into that. Simple. Once it's created, it is done. Nothing more to do. The next one involves a little bit of extra work. It still relies on that central repository, but it relies on a tool called Intune that we use with our clients. It usually requires a business premium license to achieve this. And it's about setting a couple of policies to, automatically synchronize that library using OneDrive and auto mount it so it's available on everyone's PC automatically. So any changes get synchronized, and then applying a policy to Office itself on the PC, because we have control of that using Intune, that sets a work group template location, which is that location on the PC. Works in the same way. You hit new and the template is right there. Fantastic, but it does take a little bit of extra work to do. It's not terribly complicated, but it does take extra effort. And the last one is really, it's a manual process. You could create a script to do this for your team and get them to run it, but ultimately it's doing the same thing as what I just described, but by hand. You give instructions in terms of go to this site, click this button, make it sync, go into Office, change this property, point your templates there, job done. It only needs to be done once, and it takes care of the rest. So there's three key things that you can do to try to get your template distributed to your team with less effort.